evening, and welcome to the Parenting versus Podcast.
Can we call this one the Juicy Steak Edition?
Sure. Lindsay is enjoying a juicy steak and a glass of milk.
That is so weird to say.
We apologize to all of our Hindu listeners out there.
I'm just gonna be honest. I never would have thought that a glass of milk, ice cold milk, would pair so deliciously with a steak.
Neither did the cow.
Yeah. Oh, that's
It might be
cool.
from the same cow.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. Now I feel like a jerk.
It's okay. You just murdered like probably 10 cows just now.
Wow. And all of our listeners are gone. No, I don't know. There's something really nice about ice cold milk and then this like steak with red chili. It's kind of spicy. I don't know. It's just, it's very satisfying at the moment.
Jennifer the cow's blood is on your hand. It's okay.
Jennifer? You named it?
I named her.
I literally wonder how long you've been thinking of cow names, like to come up with Jennifer.
I just thought of heifer. Because isn't a heifer a cow?
Yes.
I thought of heifer and then I thought of Jennifer.
Jen Heifer?
Jennifer, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So tonight we went. Excuse me. Before I go into what we did tonight,
They don't care.
who doesn't care? Should we go on a squeaky swing? Squeaky
No,
swing.
I'm actually enjoying this.
Well, I don't like moving. We only have one mic, and I'm kind of moving it back and forth right now, and I don't like it.
Pause. Look at our dog right now.
Oh.
He's like salivating. He's like, steak, steak, steak. Look at his face. Like he thinks he's gonna get some of this.
He wishes he could take down a cow, but he can't.
You're not having any of this, Diego. You're a fat little Jack Russell that's not getting any steak tonight.
No, he's not. So I just want to say something about utility. So economists measure how much utility you get out of a product.
Right.
So, for example, let's just say, think about something you need. Your shirt. Unless you are Johnny Bravo walking down the street saying what's up to the ladies, you love your shirt. I mean, you don't love it, but you need your shirt. It brings you a little bit of utility. It covers up your nipples. Like that's the utility that your shirt brings to you. Your car brings you a little bit of not a little bit, like a lot of bit of utility. It gets you from point A to point B. You know what I mean? So like there's everything that you purchase, every good has a bit of utility. And right now I'm getting a lot of utility out of my Eric Costin 2 Nike's shoes, because I've had those puppies for a year, and
You're so proud.
we need to sit in the swing because I don't like moving the
I
mic.
have to finish this steak.
Okay, finish your steak. I'm
I have to
gonna
conquer
talk about
this
shoes.
hunk of meat real fast.
You conquer that meat.
I'm working
That's
on
what
it.
she said.
Arr.
I haven't cracked myself up that much in a while. Anyway,
You kind of have a girly giggle. When you're really giddy, you giggle like a girl.
it's okay. People accept me. It's all good. Anyway, what was I talking about before you were conquering meat? Oh gosh, you're grossing me out right now. Yeah, my Eric Costin 2 Nike shoes. I've had them for over a year. Is that what I was talking about before we talked about conquering meat?
I was trying to seduce you by chewing steak.
I'm just thinking about in Deuce Bigelow,
Did it work?
where he's like, I made a mistake, and she's like, did you say steak?
That's sort of how I feel right now.
Okay, so I'm getting a lot of utility out of these shoes. I thought about, briefly today, I was like, oh, I should get new shoes. But then I thought about, again, that I have not spent a single penny on shoes in over a year. Over a year, I've not even thought about buying new shoes. And these shoes are, they're comfortable. They're okay. Right now, the glue is starting to separate from like the rest of the shoe. So it's kind of like flopping around, starting to. But I'm thinking like maybe I should just get a little bit of adhesive. I'm a teacher. I have adhesive within my
Do you
reach.
just like saying the word adhesive?
Kind of, I guess. Adhesive. I don't know. I like it.
They make you feel
I-
scientific.
I think no, not really. It doesn't make me feel scientific, but I think there are better like words that make me feel more satisfied. What was the one that I love?
Steak.
No, not steak. And people can't hear you because the mic is on me. We're not in our swing. There is it's not photosynthesis. It is something else, and I might think of it later. But there's
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Did you conquer the meat?
I conquered the meat.
Sorry to our underage listeners out there. But
I hope there's no underage listeners out there because that would be not good.
yeah. But I'll think of the word later on.
Maybe.
So I have had these shoes for a while, and they're great and all, but I just love being able to know that it brings me a lot of satisfaction to know that I have not had to go to a shoe store for over a year to buy shoes. I love it.
I hate buying shoes. So I'm a woman. Surprise.
You conquered me. Surprise.
I am a size 10 and a half wide. So for all of you shoe naysayers out there, I have some big ass feet. They're not dainty. They're not like girly. They're not cute little baby toes. No, I have like Sasquatch feet. It sucks shoe shopping when you have size 10 and above. Like, you cannot find cute shoes. You cannot find good shoes. It's like, well, these ones fit. I guess I'm getting these ones.
Yeah.
It sucks, man.
I used to love going shoe shopping. I mean, in
the worst.
high school, I was a skateboarder. Like, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I was a skateboarder. I was just a person who just like enjoyed skateboarding. Not a
skateboarder?
not a dorky longboard either. Like you longboarders out there, like
Why is that dorky?
longboard is dorky.
I don't think so.
No, it's super dorky.
I never.
Dorky.
Well,
Okay, I'm just gonna say.
all right.
What? I'm sorry.
Don't get so loud. Our daughter's room is right behind you. You're gonna wake
okay.
her up.
I just hope she doesn't ever date a longboarder.
And if she does,
And if she does, then it was her bad. I guess. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just kidding. Longboarders, you're okay. But I rode. I had some favorites. I rode Element boards. Black Label was one of my my favorites. But skateboarders, they have a very specific type of shoe that they want. And the shoe that they want has a good ollie guard. You know what an ollie is?
yes, I do, because believe it or not, I used to skateboard too.
I don't believe it.
Well, you don't have to believe it, but it happened.
I'm not. I don't.
Okay.
Has an ollie guard because when you ollie, you drag your foot up grip tape, which is basically like sandpaper on the top of your board.
Yes, I know what grip tape is. Oh my gosh. Do you think?
So-
Oh, you think that? Oh my gosh. You give me some credit, would you?
I will not. I will not give you any credit. So, what? You look so frustrated.
I am frustrated.
Why? Tell me.
Because I used to be able to grind a little bit, and I used to skateboard, and I used to do a lot of cool things, and I broke my rib actually skateboarding. So here's the thing. I used to go skateboarding in Portland in parking garages.
With boys?
Yes.
Oh.
But not like boyfriends, just like friends that were guys. And we used to skateboard. And I freaking cracked a rib. Okay? So I know
You
a
weren't
little
very
bit.
good then.
It was a very sharp corner. Very sharp turn. And somebody called the cops and we were trying to get away.
Yeah.
So there you go. And we did, by the way.
Okay.
The end.
Yeah.
So suck it. Or don't.
So I'm learning a lot of new things about my wife tonight. So yeah, I mean, growing up in high school, high school especially, I had a specific type of shoe that I loved. Whatever, I just loved it. The first pair of skate shoes I ever bought were the Chad Muska shoes. You know what Chad Muska is?
I don't know. Is he a politician?
Yes, he's a senator out of Delaware.
That's what I thought.
Do you know where Delaware is?
Delaware. We're in Delaware.
So I bought the Chad Muska shoes, and they were $100, and they're made by Circa. They were awful shoes. After that, I started to get into these shoes called Genetics. After Genetics, I was into... I think that's when I started getting into Vans. And
Typical.
yeah, I bought the checkered Vans, the old school Vans, you know, all the good Vans.
One of our volunteers had checkered Vans on the other day, and I was like, hey.
Seriously?
I was like, hey, are those Vans? Those
Yeah.
are old school. I love them.
Oh my!
And I think I freaked him out a little bit.
It's so weird. Like, blasts from the past is happening in high school right now. Kids are...
He was in a high school, or he was like older than you.
Okay, well, he's legit then.
Yeah.
But my students are all about the Jordans, like the 1992, 93, 94 Jordans.
You know, I used to have some really sick Nikes in 4th grade. They were black and like this teal color. They were like all black with like this teal swoosh on them. And my dad bought them for me, and they were for basketball. But I was like straight up like, check out these kicks, everybody. Don't you wish? I was very proud.
They probably did.
And I also had a Taz
Tattoo
hoodie.
on the small of your back.
No. No, I had a hoodie. It was like a denim hoodie with plaid, and it was Taz because that was the deal.
Was Taz wearing clothes that were on backwards?
Yes, actually, he was like crisscross.
Was
Made me
to
wanna
his,
jump.
Was he next to his hip bunny friend?
No, but he had the little earring. But yeah, no.
Do you
I
know?
was-
Do you know who still rocks the left earring to this day?
Who
Sinbad.
is that guy still alive?
He
Like,
is, and he's rocking the 90s like to this day. He has not changed,
That's because the '90s were sort of like when he peaked. That was like
and he is never like he has rode out the 90s since the 90s.
I don't even know what that guy does anymore. Like,
He's living in the 90s.
does he just walk around like, "Hey, I'm Sinbad"?
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm Sinbad.
You
My
remember
name is
19? You
Sinbad.
remember 1993?
I'm still wearing my dangly little left ear like earring.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for you, Sinbad.
Him and Lawrence Taylor are chilling.
Lawrence Taylor.
You know
Who's
Lawrence
that?
Taylor? He was a football player for the New York Giants.
I would not know
and
that.
he rocked the dangly left.
I totally
earring.
thought you were talking about like Jonathan Taylor Thomas
No.
for a second.
Casper. No.
No, that's Devin Sawa.
Oh, whatever.
He
Same difference.
He was the deal
I hated middle
in
school
5th grade. In
because
5th grade, he
every
was like, "Whoa,
every
Devin
cute
Sawa."
little boy in 8th grade, they parted their hair in the middle
Yeah,
and they like swooshed their hairs around.
yeah.
And all the girls like were all about that, and I was just
They
like
were all about that.
the husky little Mexican boy in the corner
Chancho.
eating a tamale.
You know, there's some things that are called life choices that you make. Tamales might be one of those choices that
Well,
you
I
make
guarantee you, my middle school life was better than theirs because
because your tamale satisfaction was off the chart.
it was.
Oh my
I wish I could graph that. My
Dork.
tamale satisfaction of me.
It'd be like an upward hill, like an
Yeah.
uphill. I don't know, what do you call that? Spike? Yeah. Wow.
So
Oh, middle school. I just remember like growing up in Portland, there was like the guys that were like all into Nirvana. Like that was their deal. Like
course they
Nirvana
did.
shirts all the time. I could name a few of them by name, but I won't because that might be embarrassing for them now. Not that they're listening. There was the skaters with their Jinkos and all their crappy, ugly stuff.
the skaters wear Jinkos.
Some of them.
I had an off-brand of Jinkos.
What were they called? Like Blinkos?
I have no idea, but they were super huge. Jinkos are so damn ridiculous.
They are. They're like parachutes.
But they were comfortable. Those were the most comfortable pants I ever wore.
Because it's like a dress.
It was like a dress, like in a skirt. Hello. Like a skirt.
I remember there
Like
was
a
this,
denim
this
skirt.
guy. I have to tell you, this is so funny. There was this guy, and he was new in my middle school, and his name was Nate. I do remember this. And he was like Jinko wearing, like t-shirt wearing. He did have the one little hoop earring in the side. He had the hair, and all the girls were like, OMG, that guy is so fly.
He's like Brendan Fraser. Oh dear.
Yeah, basically. And I remember he sat behind me in math, and I started talking to him, and like all these girls were like, how do you know him? And I was like, I don't. I just talked to him in math because he's good at math and I'm not.
You're so shallow.
But the cool thing was, you know, we hung out a little bit. He was way cooler than me though, so we never actually like, you know,
Okay.
hung out. But like, you know,
Yeah.
he helped me with math, and that was pretty cool for 7th grade.
I don't think I really had any encounters with girls in high school,
That was middle school.
middle school either.
Oh.
Okay, I'll tell you the most profound memory in middle school.
I broke up with Keith Smith because he wanted to hold my hand.
I would have broken up with Keith Smith because his name was Keith.
Well,
Nobody dates a Keith.
Actually, everybody dated a Keith.
Nobody dates a Keith.
Dude, everybody, he was in band with us. Everybody dated Keith. I did for like a week, and I was like, I don't want to hold your hand in public. This is weird. Good night. See you later. Bye-bye.
Do you know anybody
we're
named
done.
Keith? That
Yeah,
is
Keith
like,
Smith. He likes Third Eye Blind a lot. And I went to college with his cousin, Marcus, who I skateboarded with. It all comes full circle.
Marcus Smith?
No, his last name wasn't Smith. It was something else.
Huh,
They were cousins.
interesting.
But we skateboarded together, and he was pretty cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Middle school, I have 2 memories that will forever stick with me. No, 3. Number 1 is the Holocaust.
Whoa.
I learned about what the Holocaust was. I remember
We just went from crushes and Devon Sawa to the Holocaust.
I had no idea what the Holocaust was before
That's
like 7th
heavy.
grade. I remember, and I didn't even take that class for some reason. In
The Holocaust class?
the like social studies, I didn't take social studies.
That's because you grew up in BFE, New Mexico.
Moriarty.
Where education...
Somehow I got around to taking social studies
That's not normal.
in middle school. I don't know. And in high school, I got around taking English.
Yeah, that's very New Mexican. Good job, New Mexico. Your educational standards are super
and
high.
this is why the Common Core is okay. Sorry, people who disagree with the Common Core, but you have people in Oregon who are learning about the Holocaust and how to speak English, and in Moriarty we didn't care.
I literally knew about the
So-
Holocaust in 4th grade.
I learned about it in like the 8th grade. But
Really, like, competing on who knew about the Holocaust first? That's
well, no,
kinda sad.
it's education. It's not like the Holocaust. But I also discovered Windows 3.1 in 8th grade. What? Or 7th grade. Do you know what Windows 3.1 is? It's the version of Windows that came out before Windows 95.
That's ridiculous.
It is not ridiculous.
My brain can't even
It is not
ponder
ridiculous.
that at all.
It is not.
What
so
did it do?
Holocaust, when it sparked a flame of technology.
No, I mean, I get that, but, like, what did it do?
I was just
It
totally
was like,
in
boop,
awe.
boop, beep, boop, boop, Windows 3.0, boop, boop, and you're like,
No,
whoa,
Windows
amazing.
3.1. Windows 3.1 was
Whatever.
basically like Windows 95 without a start button.
What?
Windows 95 is when they came out with the start button, lower
Doesn't
left-hand
even
corner.
make any sense.
Do you know what the start button is? You have a Windows computer at work.
I know what the start button is, but, like, why would you not have one?
Well, your Mac doesn't have a start button.
Dude, pause. This airplane is circling our house.
It's a helicopter.
Whatever it is, it's circling our house. I really hope there's not, like, a fugitive loose in the neighborhood.
There are no fugitives.
I did learn we have chickens in our neighborhood.
Yeah, too. What else did I talk about?
Windows 3.
There's a motorcycle in our,
What
in
an
our alley.
a-hole. That guy drives down our street super loud all day, every day, all
Yeah.
night, every night. And now he's going down the alley. What a jerk.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, yeah, middle school was definitely... Oh, the library of my middle school was really cool. That's what it was. Even though I'm pretty sure I had dyslexia, or have dyslexia to this day, and I was never diagnosed. I was never referred.
Maybe you could get diagnosed as an adult.
Maybe.
Tested at least.
Sometimes I pull up a sheet. Like if somebody hands me a worksheet or whatever, like in the training I had to do today for my job as a teacher, I just see a bunch of letters and words, and I'm like, screw this. I'm not going to read that because
Maybe
it's
that's
like
just
too
being
much of a challenge.
Maybe that's just being lazy.
I can read fine.
Maybe it's lazy Alexia.
I can read fine. In fact, I'm going to read the new Science Mike. It's not new, but it's like a year old. Science Mike book called Finding God in the Waves. I'm going to read that. I want to check it out from the library.
Okay. What was the third thing that you learned?
No, that was it. Windows.
You said two things.
No, memories.
Oh.
Windows, the Holocaust, and the library.
Oh.
I remember the library. It was a very nice open space library. As you walked into the school, Moriarty Middle School, there was a library there, and it was a triangle kind of floor plan, and it was very open, and there were many books, and it was just, I loved it.
Were there many leather-bound books?
No leather-bound books. They were mostly
Bummer.
just books. But anyway, I'm gonna grab a beer, and I'll be right back.
Tomorrow's Friday, and I'm thinking about how I have to get up and take all 3 kids to drop off Luke at kindergarten.
I'll pick up Luke.
Yeah, but picking up is so much easier than dropping off. Picking
Oh.
up, you drive through a circle.
Do you know what I did?
Dropping off, you have to get 3 people
Do you know
out,
what I did
walk
today?
3 people to the
I got out
stupid
of training.
classroom.
I went to your work. I picked up Luke.
I don't want to
He
hear
fell
it because I
asleep.
do this crap every day.
I do this crap every day too.
Not really.
And then I went to your parents' house. I got Luke out of the car. Luke started to throw a fit at your parents' house.
Awesome.
Riley wanted to run around as your dad was in pain.
Without his pants on, I'm sure.
No, your dad had his pants on.
Not my dad.
Who?
Riley.
Yes.
Our
No.
2-year-old.
Riley had his pants on.
Oh, that's surprising.
So, yes, it was very difficult this evening. And by the time I got home, you were already home.
You know, I thought about working late.
It's fine. But
Well, no,
I don't
but-
want to compare how hard my afternoon
No,
is to
I
how
don't
hard
want
your
to
morning
compare
is.
either, but I do want you to realize that, like, it is easier to pick a kid up than it is to drop them off. You're not on a time crunch, so to speak, for the first bell and trying to get 3 kids out of the car
I got
and
you.
trying to fight with a 2-year-old because he doesn't want to leave the playground.
I got you.
It sucks.
Okay.
It's like the bane of my existence.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I hate drop off. Oh, I hate drop off so much. I want to be a good mom. I really do. I mean, deep down, like, yeah, I want to be a good mom, but there are parts of being a mom that I am like, I don't ever want to be good at that. It sucks. I hate it. Like drop off. I just don't. I hate dropping off my kids at school. I would be so happy if they could just take the bus. I don't know. I feel like I'm always on the verge of being super late or trying to get a kid to put their shoes on or put their pants on. Or like my 2-year-old doesn't want to leave the playground and we have other stuff to do. It's just frustrating. I'm not made for the monotonous day-to-day drop-off of elementary school. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. My personality is very much a free spirit, and it is very hard for me to be tamed and caged in the responsibilities of parenthood. I'm just being honest. I love my kids, and I want to be a good parent, but the monotony of parenthood really gets under my skin. There are days where I'm just like, screw it. I want to sell my house. I want to move to France. I'm going to start making art and drink coffee all day, and that's what I want to do. I'm taking my kids with me. Obviously that's not very realistic, but that's what I would like to do. So, rant finished.
Okay.
Good, thank you. Did you
So-
just take a water bottle and fill it up with tap water?
No, it's filtered water.
Lies. Oh, so it's from the fridge?
Yes, it's from the fridge. You don't
But
want
it's
it?
not actual bottled water?
It is water in a bottle. Do you not want it?
No, I'll drink it. It's just funny because I don't know. Why didn't you just put it in a cup?
Because I thought a water bottle would be easier to drink out of.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. It's just funny. I think it's funny.
Yeah. So you told me when we were in Rio Doso that my mind was being polluted by all the podcasts that I listened to.
Not polluted, just weighed down or interrupted. Like, not polluted, because I think podcasts have some good things to say, and I think the podcasts you listen to, I think they do have good things to say and good things to think about, and I think they're good podcasts. My thought process is like, it felt like you were kind of consumed, like mentally consumed.
Yeah. I can tell you that I am consumed, and I'm going to be completely honest with everybody out there in internet and radio land, and also our kids in the future. I am consumed at this. I mean, not right now. Right now, I'm doing okay. Was there any more meat on that plate? Okay, Penny's looking at it. I am consumed with the news, and I'll tell you why.
I just don't think it's healthy to be.
I'm not even paying attention. I haven't checked the news in a long time.
That's good.
But starting with the eclipse. The eclipse was fun. It was fun science. I thought it was great. But then, we get all this news about North Korea, how they're testing nuclear weapons and how they can reach Guam. And now we know that they have a hydrogen bomb. Not known, but it's state media. So I don't know if it's just propaganda or if it's like actual, like...
We can suspect that they might be either trying to make up. Look at our dog. trying to create a hydrogen bomb, or they have something.
There's a car door down the street. So there's that. Like, I don't know, like how far their reach is, or what's the extent of their damage. They can at least reach Japan, who's an ally. China's involved, Russia's involved. Like, there's all these different countries are involved, and I'm like thinking about this, and who knows. And then on top of that, we have Charlottesville, which everybody's forgotten about basically, because there's all kinds of other news. Like, you can't even like get past a week before like some major news is forgotten because there's some other major news that's in your head.
Yeah, I've been consumed with the DACA stuff. Like,
yeah,
honestly, I had dreams about it last night.
Yeah,
they were heavy.
There's DACA, there's Charlottesville, and now we have a hurricane in Houston. Now we have another hurricane that's hitting to Florida, and guess what? There's another hurricane right now developing in the Atlantic, another one, and at the same time there's another hurricane developing in the Gulf of Mexico, which is insane. Our president is, I mean, I don't know if it's our president, like just our president. It might just, I think it's just our country just completely divided, and the president is a result of that.
The president is a moron.
Well, whatever, but I think the president is a result of the state of our country, I think. But there's just all this stuff just like happening all at once. Fires in Oregon, like Albuquerque has been smoky.
It's been really dingy in the air.
There was a health advisory a couple weeks ago because of the smoke. So there's just like, and I'm not even like actively trying to seek out the news.
I know.
And it's just kind of overwhelming. Just saying.
It is. It's crazy. I got an email today saying that I got chosen to be part of the town hall discussion for the mayoral candidates in Albuquerque. I applied randomly. I just threw my application in there as like for funsies kind of a thing. I didn't think they'd actually pick me, and they did. So I'm going to be meeting with a group of strangers for the day next Friday.
Coming up with some questions. Yeah, it's people from all over Albuquerque. Coming up with some questions to ask all the mayoral candidates. And I really don't know much about any of them, so I'm really excited to be a part of that. You told me tonight that you were excited about being in Albuquerque, or you were excited about Albuquerque?
I feel like for the first time in a long time, I'm actually okay with like where I am, and I'm actually invested in, not just invested, but like actively seeking out ways to make it better. I think there's a difference between being invested in your community and actively trying to fix your community. And I feel like I've gone to like next level. Like, I'm not just invested, but I'm actually active. And I care. Like, I give a crap. It's a different feeling than I've had in a very long time. I finally feel like I am a part of this community in a very like integrative way. And I feel like there's been opportunities for me to do that, and I'm excited to see what happens. We met with our
neighborhood association. Is it association or
BANA? It's Bel Air Neighborhood Association. Yeah. BANA.
But when you think of neighborhood associations, you think of nice neighborhoods who pay fees to make sure that
we pay $10 a year.
I haven't paid it.
Nobody has, and that's part of the problem. No, seriously, like, they were talking tonight about how, like, they were like, people want to just start all these groups and do all these things for this neighborhood, and that's great, but like, we have one right here, and nobody shows up. And I was like, yeah, I could see how that'd be really frustrating, because you're trying, and people are a lot of lip service, but then they don't show up to the things that actually matter. And that's what I was saying. We've got to get that to change. Like, we have to generate an interest.
We met some wonderful people tonight.
They were incredible. And you know what? They're not of our generation. They're quirky, they're strange, but they're exactly the kind of people that make up a good neighborhood.
60.
Yeah, and I love that.
Except for 2 or 3.
Except for you and me and Kelly and Rose and her husband.
Yeah. We met, there were these 2 ladies. I think they were both widows, actually. Which is awesome. I mean, it's not awesome, but like, it's awesome that like we were hanging out with these really wonderful people.
Yeah.
What were their names? Joan was the one. She was so sweet.
Joan was across from me and Elaine.
She was really sweet.
Yeah, Elaine.
and then Elaine was a
Yeah.
talker.
Oh man, she was a pistol. I like her. I like
She
her.
just kept going and going. And who was the other girl that invited her to Dwight Yoakam?
Oh, that was her name is Mary Irish. She's neighbors with our other. She's neighbors.
I
with,
liked her.
with Jay.
She was like
With Jay
she's like
and-
my
and
well,
Rose.
as you know, my husband died a while back, and we used to go to Laughlin, Nevada every year.
She had a
and-
Laughlin, Nevada shirt
Yeah,
on.
she
even.
did.
I was
She-
like, own it.
Own it.
Get it,
And
girl.
she's like, and you know, Dwight Yoakam, and I just love Dwight Yoakam. He's coming to Laughlin, Nevada, and I just don't have anybody to go with.
She was so funny. She's like, "Did you know that I saw him in '62?" She's like, "And he played for 2
No,
hours
no, no,
without
she-
taking a drink of water." And I was like, "That's impressive."
No, she said 66.
Oh, 66.
the
Whatever.
the 66 casino.
Oh,
Not
my bad.
1966.
I was like, okay. I was like, I must have missed that. No, she's like, he played for 2 hours without taking a drink of water, and I was like, oh, impressive.
Maybe he's a robot.
I don't even know what to say about that, really, because I
Yeah.
don't even like know his music, really. But
You don't know Dwight Yoakam's music?
I know of him. I don't know.
He's a pretty good musician, I
I'll
must
have
say.
to check it out. I must say.
Yeah.
But
And-
yeah, it was
yeah,
a great
it was cool. Met some really great people in our neighborhood.
You met a Lawrence, aka Lorenzo.
Yeah, his name was Larry.
Yeah.
And I just really hope one day that I have like just really, really quick, witty things to say to people. Because he sat down, because we were folding we were sitting down in the church in our neighborhood.
The church
and,
across the street from our house that we've
yeah.
never been in until now.
Yeah. We were sitting
Yeah.
in the church folding the newsletter because they distribute them. Is it monthly or like quarterly? It's like a quarterly
It's
newsletter.
quarterly.
Yeah. Quarterly newsletter. We were folding it and
For distribution.
yeah, for distribution for our whole neighborhood. Like there's a lot of people in our neighborhood, thousands.
Tons, yeah.
And he's like, I feel kind of guilty. I feel like I'm not doing much because he had already folded his huge stack, and we were still working on our stack. So he sat down next to us. He's folding. He's like, hey, I feel like I haven't had a chance to introduce myself. And he's like right away, without hesitation, he's like, well, you had a chance, but you didn't take it.
I called you out.
And like called me out like right away. And I was like, whoa, yeah, you're right, Larry.
I feel like I know you, Larry. We have the same name, Larry. It's crazy.
And yeah, keep in mind, Larry's like your grandpa's age. And so we talked
was
a bit.
legit, though.
He was pretty legit, yeah. And
I'm just wondering if was he married, because those
I
two
don't
widows.
know.
I mean, I feel like him and maybe Joan, like across from me, would have been a good pair, even if they're just friends. You know?
Yeah.
Like we could do
Yeah.
some senior citizen love connection.
he said he's been in Albuquerque for over 50 years, and he lived somewhere before that. So I'm guessing he's over 70, like maybe in his 80s or something.
Dang, Larry.
And I wanted to ask him where he was from, but I didn't get to it.
Well, you had a chance, you just didn't take
I
it.
just didn't take it. Yep. So
But I feel like we are getting to the point where we've accepted our community is accepting us, and we are accepting the challenge of trying to make it better.
yeah.
And I like that.
I mean, think about where we were at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
We were like, F this, we're
out,
we're
yeah.
going to Portland.
Peace.
Portland loves people. Albuquerque hates people. We're done. And now, after we've actually met some people in our neighborhood, you know, it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting how that turns around.
Well, I even I invited like Rose and Jay over for a barbecue. So Rose and Jay are this couple. Rose is on the board, and she's a year older than I am. And Jay is I think he's her husband or her partner or something, but they live together and they live down
Jay
the
was
street.
the teacher.
Yeah. And it's just crazy because we have a lot in common. They moved here 3 or 4
He's
years
been
ago.
teaching for 20 years.
Holy cow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. He's a special ed teacher just like you. Public school. She has a case management background, and she works in Santa Fe, and she's from Santa Fe. Lorenzo's from Santa Fe. We live in the same neighborhood. We have a lot of things that we're interested in that are pretty similar, and like, so it's funny. I was like, we should have a barbecue sometime. You guys should come over. And they were like, we would love that. I'm like, this is so cool. Like, we are getting to know our neighbors, and they might even just come over for a barbecue. And
Yeah.
like in the 50s, that would have been no big deal.
No.
People would have done that all the time, but now it's like really
Today,
rare.
everybody's super closed off. They're in their own thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it made my soul feel kind of good.
Yeah. And then we went to La Cumbre Brewing after that.
We did.
Which Lindsay and I have not been to in a really long time. Lindsay doesn't like their beers because they're too bitter.
Yeah, they're okay. They're not my favorite, but I can deal with them.
Did you like them tonight, though?
I actually like the Hefeweizen better than the stout, which is rare for me, but I'm good, thanks.
And it wasn't super crowded.
No, we went upstairs, and that was pretty neat. I posted a picture on our Instagram if you
with
care.
the frames?
Yes, if you care to check it out.
What's our Instagram handle?
Parenting versus podcast.
At Parenting versus...
Yeah. You can check it if you want to check it, but I put a picture up, and then, yeah, the patio was super nice.
I'll link our social medias on our blog.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
I made some new friends.
Yeah, there were some cyclists. So, if you are ever in Albuquerque, which I would definitely recommend, La Cumbre Brewing, where they brew all the beer.
Not all of it, but a lot of it.
I think that's their main spot.
Yeah.
It is in like an industrial district here in Albuquerque, so there's like a bunch of just tractor shops and drywall shops and appliance repair shops and all kinds of different shops, like all around.
Furniture.
Office furniture, like everything. It's like
Yeah.
there's all this stuff. In the midst of all these shops, there are two breweries, La Cumbre and Canteen. But it is also adjacent to a bike trail, a major bike trail. So these bicyclists come in with their spandex, and I was inside closing out the tab and also getting a 4-pack of Hefeweizen.
They
to
were
bring
like
home.
in their 60s or 70s. I mean, they were.
So I sat down and they started to like kind of try to schmooze my wife.
I don't know. They were friendly. I mean, it was definitely a little weird.
A little too friendly.
I don't know.
That's okay.
I was like, my husband is coming back, but you're welcome to sit here if you would like to.
They're like, that ring looks a little small.
They did not say
I'm in
that.
my retirement and I'm triple dipping.
Whoa. They did not say that.
And I will buy you a ring that is 15 times larger than
Okay,
that.
and you're also like 15 times my age, so probably not.
Yeah.
Gross.
Have you ever been to
Laughlin?
Laughlin? Do you know this lady called Mary Irish? Because we're going to go watch Dwight Yoakam with her. You can come if you want.
No thanks. I think I'm going to pass on that. Yeah, and then Lorenzo got out there, and I was talking about my bike and how it had a flat tire, and they were like kind of guilting Lorenzo into fixing my bike tire.
And then I had to fight an old man, and it was not pretty.
He had to punch somebody's fake teeth out. It was crazy.
Yeah.
At least I've still got it.
Yeah.
I got some geriatric seduction happening.
I feel like you're running out of podcast juice, so...
Gross. I am. I'm getting a little tired. It was a crazy day at work, and my brain is starting to like malfunction on itself.
Talk about your work day.
I don't want to talk about it at all, really, because it is a lot, and I wrote a blog about it, and I feel like that was my way of kind of getting it out, and I don't really want to go into it too much. I've sort of worked past it, and I just need to let it be. I'm a little tired though. So I think I'm going to call it a night.
Well, now that you're yawning, everybody else is
I
yawning.
know, I'm sorry.
What's your blog, anyway?
I don't know.
What's your blog URL? Do you know?
Lindsay's Blog Noir. No, I don't remember. What is it? I don't remember what it's called right now. I'll say it on the next episode. I don't remember at the moment.
I'll link it in the show notes, I guess.
Nobody wants to read that.
Well, if they want to go to our podcast little website, it's parenting. Is it Parenting vs Podcast at blogspot.com? Why don't you go to bed? I'll keep talking.
No, I think it's time to wrap it up, friend.
I don't want to wrap it up.
It's been like an hour.
I don't care. There was so much more I wanted to talk about.
Let's save it for another podcast. We can make as many as we need to.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, anywho,
Buenas noches, amigos.
yeah, it's been fun. And Lindsay's giving me some eyes, but I like to have the music play and my voice go at the same time. That's how you know it's professional. What? All right, guys. Well, you have a great night. Oh yeah, real quick, check out RyanPFreeman.com. And music for the podcast is done by Jeff O'Midveron. So check out Jeff's SoundCloud. So Jeff Omidvaron. Anyway, you guys have a great night, and we will talk to you guys on the next one.